fluid mechanics. So we'll be dealing with the fluid here. So we'll deal with the behavior of a fluid at rest and in motion. When it comes to matter, this matter is broadly classified as solids, liquids, and gases. In solids, intermolecular forces are very strong, so it is not very easy to change the shape and volume of a solid. But when it comes to liquids, compared to the solids, intermolecular forces are less. And here also, it is not easy to change the volume of a liquid. Compressibility factor is there for liquid, but you cannot compress it by very large amounts. So compression in liquids is very small. So it is not easy to change the volume of a liquid, but you can change the shape. When it comes to gases, the intermolecular forces are weak, and here it is easy to change the shape as well as volume of gases. Now this fluid mechanics, if you study the real fluids, then it is very difficult to analyze. So we will consider certain assumptions. Basically we will be dealing with liquids and gases. Fluid is nothing but a matter which can flow. So here fluid consists of liquids as well as gases. But in this chapter, mostly we will deal with liquids, and whatever the principles we are going to study, as well as whatever the derivations we are going to derive in this chapter, they hold good for gases also by small modifications. So before going into the chapter, we have to see what are the assumptions. So we assume many things in fluids. So first assumption is incompressible fluid. So we are assuming incompressible fluid. इसका मतलब क्या है? So here incompressible means जिसका वॉल्यूम हम चेंज नहीं कर सकते. So volume of a fluid cannot be changed, or here volume of a fluid is constant. So if the volume of a fluid is constant, then density of the fluid is also constant. Density is nothing but mass upon volume. So here mass is constant, and we have assumed that fluid is incompressible, so volume is also constant. So mass by volume is density, so density remains constant. Density is constant. Density of a fluid is independent of variation in pressure, because if you see, if you move inside a water body, let us say this is sea. So if you go deep inside the sea, then the pressure will go on increasing. So due to increase in pressure, the volume of the fluid may change. If volume of the fluid is changing, then density also changes. But here we have considered the fluid to be incompressible, then even if there is a variation in pressure, अगर pressure भी बदलता है, फिर भी density constant ही रहेगा. So density will remain constant, it does not change. So this is our assumption. Until and unless stated, we will consider the density of a fluid to be constant. So default in this chapter is density is constant. Then second assumption, we are considering non-viscous fluid. Non-viscous fluid. Viscosity is nothing but friction in fluid. So we are neglecting the friction. There are no frictional forces in fluid. That means the layers of the fluid which are in contact. Let us say this is fluid. So the layer of the fluid which is in contact, so this layer is in contact with this layer. This layer is in contact with another layer. So the layers which are in contact with each other, they will not apply any frictional force or any viscous force. So now viscous force is nothing but a tangential force. That means it will act along the tangential direction, that is parallel to the surface. So this force is not there. इसका मतलब क्या है, अगर आप नॉन विस्कस फ्लूइड लेंगे तो टेंजेंशियल फोर्स नहीं है. तो अगर इफ वन लेयर ऑफ ए फ्लूइड applies a force on another layer, then it will apply a force only in normal direction, only in perpendicular direction. Normal direction means perpendicular direction. So you will have normal forces here and there are no tangential forces. So these are the two assumptions we'll consider. So actually ये जो fluids है हम इसको दो तरीके से पढ़ेंगे. एक fluid at rest and here fluid in motion. So this is also, we are calling it as fluid statics. Fluid statics और ये fluid dynamics. So fluid at rest means the particles of the fluid will remain in equilibrium. Now here in fluid statics, fluid will be at rest with respect to the container. So actually what, here if you consider a fluid, if you consider a fluid in a container, अगर ये कंटेनर रेस्ट में है और इसमें कुछ फ्लूइड है, so this fluid is at rest with respect to ground. Then similarly you can have fluid in another container and this container is accelerating with certain acceleration, so there is a fluid. Now here this container is accelerating and along with the container the fluid is also accelerating. So with respect to container the fluid particles are at rest. So this also we are going to study under fluid statics. So you may be thinking, आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि ये कंटेनर मूव हो रहा है, इसमें फ्लूइड भी मूव हो रहा है, तो ये मूविंग फ्लूइड है. नहीं, this is not a moving fluid. With respect to the कंटेनर फ्रेम, सपोज अगर आप इस कंटेनर के अंदर है, देन इफ यू एनालाइज द फ्लूइड पार्टिकल्स आर एट रेस्ट. इसका मतलब अगर ये पॉइंट P है और आपसे ये 2 सेंटीमीटर दूरी पे है, when the whole container accelerates, you are also accelerating and this point P is also accelerating, और आपके बीच में का जो डिस्टेंस है वो चेंज नहीं होगा. ठीक है, तो इसलिए दिस इज एक्सेलरेटिंग फ्लूइड. दिस ऑल्सो वी विल बी डीलिंग इन फ्लूइड स्टैटिक्स. एंड इन फ्लूइड डायनामिक्स द फ्लूइड विल बी flowing, a river is flowing. Okay, so such things we'll discuss here in fluid dynamics, and we have some more assumptions when it comes to fluid dynamics. But as of now, the fluid is incompressible, the volume of the fluid cannot change, so the density remains constant. or we can say the density of a fluid is independent of variation of pressure. Then second assumption we are assuming that a non-viscous fluid जो है वो non-viscous है, मतलब viscosity is nothing but friction in fluid. So there is no friction, then whatever the forces one layer of a fluid applies on another layer, that force will be perpendicular to the surface. Okay, so that force is perpendicular to the surface. So now we have seen the assumptions and broadly how we are going to discuss this topic. So before going to this topic, or you have system variables here, so we have to understand certain things. So one system variable here is density. So we should be able to find out the density of a substance. So density is nothing but simply it is mass upon volume. Mass upon volume. So densities will be given to you, and if it is not given, if mass is given, आप उसका वॉल्यूम निकाल सकते हैं डिपेंडिंग ऑन द शेप. इफ इट इज स्फेरिकल 4/3 pi r cube. If it is a cubic shape, then if the side of a cube is a, then the volume will be a cube. So in that way you can find out the density of a given substance. So it is nothing but simply mass by volume. Then another term is there called as relative density. Relative density of a substance. So relative density is defined as density of a substance. Relative density. It is a ratio of density of a substance to the density of water. Density of water. And it is denoted as relative density. So we can have a short form RD. तो यहां पे क्या है कि आप किसी भी सब्सटेंस की डेंसिटी वाटर के डेंसिटी के साथ आप कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं. मतलब अगर किसी की रिलेटिव डेंसिटी है 4, ओके, यू हैव अ सब्सटेंस, एक सब्सटेंस है आपके पास और उसका रिलेटिव डेंसिटी जो है वो 4 है. इसका मतलब क्या है कि इस सब्सटेंस की जो डेंसिटी है वो 4 टाइम्स द डेंसिटी ऑफ वाटर. बराबर है. सो यू विल गेट एन आइडिया बाय knowing relative density, you will get an idea how denser is that substance. So now normally density of water varies with varying in temperature, and water has an anomalous behavior. So here density of water is considered at 4 degree Celsius. Water की जो density है वो 4 degree Celsius. Now relative density is 4, means water density. So water density in different units. Density of water. Density of water in bracket at 4 degrees Celsius. So water has maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius. When the temperature increases, 4 degrees Celsius से temperature जब increase होता है तो वाटर का जो वॉल्यूम है इट विल गो ऑन इंक्रीजिंग. सो मास बाय वॉल्यूम, व्हेन वॉल्यूम इज इंक्रीजिंग डेंसिटी डिक्रीजेस. सो वाटर हैज मैक्सिमम डेंसिटी एट 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस एंड दैट इज इक्वल टू 1000 kg per meter cube. 1000 kg per meter cube. Then density of water is also measured in gram per centimeter cube. So density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So these are the two values which we consider in different units. So 1000 is equivalent to 1. 1000 kg per meter cube is equivalent to 1 gram per cc. So that is the density of water. Now, if the relative density of any substance, some substance is given it as 4, so you can find out the density of that substance. So density of that substance is nothing but, now in gram per cc, in this unit, the density of the substance is 4 gram per cc, because density of substance by density of water, you got 4, means density of a substance is 4 into density of water. And when you are considering the units gram per cc, so simply you will multiply with 1. So whatever is the relative density, that magnitude, so it remains same in gram per cc. But actually the units of relative density has no units. It is dimensionless quantity, because density of substance and it is density of water. It's a ratio of density of two substances. So the dimensions of relative density, there is no dimension, it is dimensionless quantity. But if relative density of a substance is given, you can directly say or directly find out the density of that substance. Now suppose if you want to find out the density of this substance in kg per meter cube, so simply what you will do, multiply this relative density with 1000. So the density of this substance is 4000 kg per meter cube. Then relative density, you have another term called as specific gravity. Specific gravity of a substance. So specific gravity is also a dimensionless quantity, and the value of specific gravity is equivalent to the value of relative density, and both the terms are almost similar, but the definitions are little bit different. So here specific gravity is nothing but mass of the substance, the ratio of mass of the substance to the mass of water contained in the same volume. Okay, it means suppose if I take 10 liters of volume, 10 liters of volume. So in that 10 liter of volume, the substance has mass m. Then it is compared with the mass of water in the same 10 liters. So mass of a substance in a given volume, the ratio of mass of a substance in a given volume to the mass of water in the same volume. So it is nothing but again mass by volume, that volume term will cancel out, and it is defined as specific gravity. So same specific gravity is denoted by S, has the same value as relative density. Okay, I think you have got the point. Relative density is density of substance to the density of water. It is a ratio. Then similarly specific gravity is also the same thing, but you are taking some volume. So in that volume, the mass of a substance contained in that volume and the mass of the water contained in the same volume, which you have considered for this mass. Then density, again mass by volume, that volume will get cancelled and you have a term specific gravity. So for time being, just relative density and specific gravity are both similar terms. So if a relative density of object is 4, specific gravity of that substance is also 4. So here units kg per meter cube, centimeter cube. So many times you will be given the volumes in liter or the volume in meter cube, sometimes in centimeter cube. that is cc. So this is also centimeter cube. So you should be able to find out the conversions from liter to meter cube to centimeter cube. So now 1 liter, 1 लीटर कितने मीटर क्यूब होता है? Liter is a smaller quantity, meter cube is a larger quantity. Now we can correlate this, that is 1 meter cube means 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. So it is very large. 1 meter means 3.3 feet. 3.3 feet. So 1 liter, you know 1 liter, a liter bottle of water. So here this 1 meter cube space volume, this 1 meter cube volume will contain 1000 liters of this bottles. That means this is a smaller quantity, this is a larger quantity. So 1 liter is nothing but 1 upon 1000. So 1 liter is 1 upon 1000 meter cube, or 1 meter cube is 1000 liters. Okay, then how much is 1 centimeter cube, or how much is 1 meter cube in terms of 1 centimeter cube? So it is very simple. 1 meter cube is also equal to, we will convert meter into centimeter. So 1 meter is 10 raised to 2, or 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 100 into 100 into 100. So that is 10 raised to 6. 1 meter cube is 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube. 1 meter cube is 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube, or 1 centimeter cube is 1 upon 10 raised to 6 meter cube. Okay, so these conversions are important for you. The units are very important because the values may be given in any unit, so you must be able to convert it. 1 meter cube. So 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So 1 meter, 100 centimeter. Another meter, 100 centimeter. Another meter, 100 centimeter. So these are the conversions. Now we will understand about pressure. So here density, you have seen specific gravity, relative density, and conversions of liters into meter, meter into liter. So now pressure. Pressure. So to define pressure, or we'll try to understand pressure. Now suppose here you have certain area. Let us say this area is 10 meter cube, and we are applying a force perpendicular to this area. Uniformly. So this force, let us say 10 Newton. Now this 10 Newton is acting on this whole area. Sorry, this is 10 meter square. Area is 10 meter square. Then here we are defining pressure. Pressure as force per unit area. So here the pressure will be 10 upon 10. That is 1 Newton per meter square. Now similarly, same force if you apply on smaller area. Let us say this area is 1 meter square. अगर अब यही फोर्स आप इस एरिया पे लगाएंगे, the distribution of this force is over a very small area. Okay, so this distribution is over a small area. Then here pressure, you can find it out as 10 force per unit area, that is 10 Newton per 10 Newton per meter square. तो फोर्स सेम है, यहां पे भी फोर्स उतना ही है, लेकिन यहां पे प्रेशर बदला, यहां पे प्रेशर बदला है. सो प्रेशर, नाउ इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सपोज दिस इज एन एरिया, same area, if you take 1 meter square, and if you are applying a force along this direction, so this direction, this is making an angle, let us say we will take an angle with respect to vertical. तो इस vertical के साथ ये एंगल बना रहा है 60 and it is the same force 10 Newton. 10 Newton force acting on 1 meter square area but at an angle 60 degrees to the vertical. So here pressure, if you want to find out the pressure, we have to consider the perpendicular component. The perpendicular component to the area. So perpendicular component to the area is 10 cos 60. So 10 cos 60 is nothing but 5 Newton, and here you will have pressure 5 by 1, that is 5 Newton per meter square. So here we have to consider the normal component of the force, which is normal component to the area. So we will consider only the perpendicular component of the force which is acting on that area. So to understand this pressure, we will have more discussion. Suppose if you take certain point P here, and let us take a small area like this. For homogeneous fluid and non-viscous fluid, the pressure does not depend on the orientation of this area. So this is a force acting here on this area, and pressure is defined as pressure is equal to force F, and let us assume this area to be delta S, a small area. So force per unit area, where limit delta S tends to 0. So this is the pressure at this point for homogeneous and non-viscous fluid. Homogeneous means the properties of a fluid are same throughout, or throughout the fluid you have same properties. So in that case, this pressure does not depend on the orientation of this area. So even if this area is oriented like this, the pressure is same, and we'll take only perpendicular component of the force. So that means, so pressure at a given point, we can define pressure at a given point. So pressure at a given point acts equally in all the directions. यहाँ पे भी pressure P है, इस तरफ से भी प्रेशर P, इस तरफ से भी प्रेशर P. So pressure at a point acts equally from all the directions. And here when you are defining a pressure, it is very important that you take a perpendicular component to the area. So now what will happen, suppose if this is some wall and the pressure at this point here, so pressure here is P and area of the wall is A. Now if you want to find out the force, then definitely you can find out the magnitude. It is very easy. Magnitude of a force is nothing but pressure multiplied with the area. But force is a vector quantity. So here you have to find out the direction of the force. So now direction of the force is nothing but perpendicular to this area. Okay. So this will be the direction of the force. So it is important, pressure is a scalar quantity. We are considering a perpendicular force to that particular area. And force is a vector quantity. So you should be able to find out the direction of the force. Force का direction निकालना बहुत जरूरी है. तो force will act perpendicular to the area. The force due to the pressure. प्रेशर के वजह से जो फोर्स आ रहा है वो एरिया को परपेंडिकुलर एक्ट करना चाहिए. Now units of pressure. So one unit, standard unit is Pascal. Pressure is force per unit area. You are aware of the force which you have to consider while calculating the pressure. So this is force per unit area. Then the unit of force क्या है? Newton. और area standard unit meter square. So pressure is measured in Newton per meter square, and this is also called as Pascal, denoted as PA. And this pressure is also measured in atmospheric pressure. So atmospheric pressure or 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal, or 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. And pressure is also measured in bars. Pressure is measured in bar. So here 1 bar is 10 raised to 5 Pascal. 10 raised to 5 Pascal. So these are the units of pressure. So variation of pressure due to height. So variation of pressure in a fluid due to height. So let us take some fluid. So let us take fluid in this container. इसमें fluid है. Okay. So now we'll consider fluid contained in an imaginary cylinder. So we'll consider an imaginary cylinder here. We are considering the fluid contained in this imaginary cylinder. और ये imaginary cylinder का upper part यहाँ से h1 height पे है from the free surface of the liquid, and the lower part is at height h2. We have whole fluid. I am considering only some part of the fluid contained in this imaginary cylinder. I have taken an imaginary cylinder. Now I am analyzing this fluid which is contained in this imaginary cylinder. So let us assume the area of cross section as A. Here also area of cross section A. Now we will find out the pressure difference between these 2 points. तो let us say ये जो point है 1 और ये point 2, ये 2 points के बीच में हमको pressure difference निकालना है. तो यहाँ पे अलग अलग forces लगेंगे. Okay, and we have seen that pressure at a given point will act equally from all the directions, very important, and the force due to pressure, suppose if this is an area, force due to pressure will act perpendicular to the area. तो जब इस एरिया को लेंगे हम तो इस पॉइंट 1 पे कुछ ना कुछ प्रेशर होगा. सो इस पॉइंट 1 पे प्रेशर है P1 और ये जो पॉइंट है पॉइंट 2 यहां पे प्रेशर है P2. सो नाउ ऑन दिस एरिया pressure will be acting from this direction because pressure at a given point will act equally in all the direction. इधर से भी प्रेशर होगा, इधर से भी प्रेशर होगा, इधर से भी प्रेशर होगा. But now we want the pressure on this area. इस एरिया पे प्रेशर चाहिए. तो force due to this pressure will be acting perpendicular to the area. So this is the force which will act on this area, that is F1. And here pressure at a given point will act equally from all the directions. इधर से भी प्रेशर होगा, इधर से भी होगा, इधर से भी होगा. But when you are finding out the force should act perpendicular to the cross sectional area. So this is a cross sectional area. So bottom of this fluid or the fluid which is in contact with this surface will apply a force in this direction, that is F2. And the fluid which we have considered in this imaginary cylinder, इसके अंदर का जो fluid है वो rest में है. This is fluid statics. It is at rest. Then the total forces on this fluid which we have considered in this cylinder should be 0. So this is one force due to the pressure at this point. There is a force due to the pressure at this point, that is point 2, and the weight of the fluid will be acting vertically downwards. This is weight of the fluid. Now this weight of the fluid we'll consider in density, in terms of density. So if the density of this fluid is rho is the density, then density into volume. So volume is nothing but height of this imaginary cylinder. So this is H2, this is H1. So this height will be H2 minus H1. Density into volume. Here, suppose if you take volume here, so volume is area of cross section. ये area है A into height of the cylinder. Height of the cylinder is, this is H2, this is H1. Height of the cylinder will be H2 minus H1. So here H2 minus H1. So this is the volume. Then mass, density into volume into G. Then similarly pressure P1. Pressure at this point is P1. Then we can find out the force. So this force will be equal to pressure into area. Then here F2. This force will be pressure at this point P2 into area. Now this fluid is at rest. So total force on this fluid must be 0. So downward force P1 into A and mg, and upward force is F2. So upward force F2 minus F1 minus mg should be 0. Then F2 is nothing but P2 into A minus P1 into A minus density H2 minus H1 into G equal to 0. Equal to 0. So here we will get P2 minus P1, that is difference in pressure between those 2 points, that is equal to rho G H2 minus H1. The difference in pressure between these 2 points is rho G into H2 minus H1. So now for a given fluid, means the fluid is same, you are not changing the fluid. For a given fluid, the pressure difference between any 2 points inside a fluid will depend only on the height. Okay, it depends only on height. But if you analyze different fluids, then the pressure difference This is the pressure difference between this point and this point. So that will depend on density as well as height. So here we have same fluid. For a given fluid, the pressure difference between any two points is dependent on height of the fluid. So suppose if I take this point as 1, that means the surface of the fluid as 1. Let us take it here. Suppose if I take this surface as 1 and this as 2, and the difference in height, ये दो जो points है इनके बीच में जो difference है, height difference, it is h. Then pressure difference between these 2 points, that is delta P, will be equal to rho g h. Okay. So if h1 is 0 and h2 is h, then difference in pressure between these 2 points will be equal to rho g h. And this is also called as gauge pressure. So that is, we are just finding out the difference in pressure or the excess pressure above atmosphere is nothing but gauge pressure. So this is not the absolute pressure. So this is only the pressure difference between these 2 points. So now we have seen दो पॉइंट्स के बीच में प्रेशर डिफरेंस और द प्रेशर डिफरेंस इन ए फ्लूइड डिपेंड्स ओनली ऑन हाइट फॉर ए गिवन फ्लूइड. अगर फ्लूइड सेम है तो प्रेशर डिफरेंस जो है वो सिर्फ हाइट पे डिपेंड करेगा. सो फ्रॉम द सरफेस, फ्रॉम दिस सरफेस, this height is h. Now pressure at this point. So pressure at this point is rho g h. So actually this is not the pressure at this point. This is the pressure difference between these 2 points. Now what is the absolute pressure here? So to find out the absolute pressure, we'll see one law here that is called as Pascal's law. Pascal's law. So Pascal's law states that, or we'll take a simple diagram. So ये fluid है. Now let us say, or let us take 2 points. This is point 1, this is point 2 inside a fluid. So इस point 1 पे प्रेशर P1 है और यहाँ पे प्रेशर P2 है. And the difference in height is h. Now the pressure difference between these 2 points is nothing but rho g h. So suppose if you change the pressure here, this fluid, if you change the pressure at this point, the change in pressure at this point, then that change will take place throughout the fluid. Pascal's law is nothing but the change in pressure at any point in the fluid. क्या है? Change in pressure at any point in the fluid will transmit equally throughout the fluid. अगर मान लो यहाँ पे प्रेशर P1 है और हम यहाँ का प्रेशर चेंज कर रहे हैं, we are increasing the pressure here. यहाँ पे हमने प्रेशर इंक्रीज किया है बाई सम डेल्टा P अमाउंट. यहाँ पे प्रेशर इंक्रीज किया है. पहले कितना था? P1. अभी कितना हो गया? डेल्टा P से इसको इंक्रीज किया तो यहाँ का प्रेशर हो गया P1 प्लस डेल्टा P. ठीक है. तो फिर यहाँ पे भी प्रेशर उतने अमाउंट से बढ़ना चाहिए. दैट मीन्स the change in pressure at any point in the fluid will get equally transmitted throughout the fluid. तो यहाँ पे अगर आपने प्रेशर डेल्टा P अमाउंट से चेंज किया तो यहाँ पे भी डेल्टा P अमाउंट से इंक्रीज होगा, यहाँ पे भी डेल्टा P अमाउंट से इंक्रीज होगा, यहाँ पे भी डेल्टा P अमाउंट से इंक्रीज होगा. ये इसलिए कि ये सपोज अगर ये आपने प्रेशर अभी इंक्रीज नहीं किया है सपोज, तो ये दो पॉइंट्स के बीच में जो प्रेशर डिफरेंस है P2 माइनस P1 वो कितना होना चाहिए, रो जी एच, बराबर है। ये दो पॉइंट्स के बीच में जो प्रेशर डिफरेंस है वो रो जी एच होना चाहिए। अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, वी आर इंक्रीजिंग द प्रेशर हियर बाय डेल्टा P, बट यू नो दैट the pressure difference between any two points in the fluid should depend only on height h, provided that you are calculating or you are finding out the pressure difference in same type of fluid। तो अभी ये दो पॉइंट के बीच में जो प्रेशर डिफरेंस है वो हमेशा रो जी एच ही होना चाहिए। अगर आप यहाँ पे प्रेशर डेल्टा पी से इंक्रीज करते हैं तो यहाँ पे भी प्रेशर डेल्टा पी से इंक्रीज होना चाहिए, तभी प्रेशर डिफरेंस इन दो पॉइंट के बीच में रो जी एच होगा। इट मींस P2 आफ्टर चेंजिंग द प्रेशर, पॉइंट 2 पे प्रेशर इंक्रीज हुआ डेल्टा पी से, पॉइंट 1 पे भी प्रेशर चेंज हुआ है डेल्टा पी से, एंड दैट शुड बी इक्वल टू रो जी एच। सो दैट इज पास्कल्स लॉ। पास्कल्स लॉ हाइड्रोलिक्स में यूज किया जाता है। सो इट इज यूज्ड in hydraulic machines, hydraulic brakes. So we'll see application of a Pascal law. Suppose अगर if you want to lift heavier bodies by application of a small force, then we can use Pascal's law here. So let us say here we have a piston. इस पिस्टन का क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया A1 है, इसमें फ्लूइड है। So here another piston, और ये हेवियर मास हमको ऊपर उठाना है, और इसका क्रॉस सेक्शन A2 ले। अगर सपोज यहां पे हम प्रेशर चेंज करेंगे, सो आई विल अप्लाई ए फोर्स F1। यहां पे अगर हम F1 फोर्स अप्लाई करेंगे तो यहां का प्रेशर चेंज होगा। तो यहां पे प्रेशर चेंज कितना हुआ, F1 by A1, और here the pressure change is F1 by A1. The same pressure should be transmitted here. So here also the pressure will be same, that is P, but the force which will be exerted here, that will be some force F2, because pressure at this point and pressure at this point is same, it is equally transmitted throughout the fluid. But here we are applying force F1 and area of cross section is A1. Here area of cross section is different, pressure is same, so force will be different. So here pressure will become F2 upon A2. So F1 by A1 should be equal to F2 by A2. So you can find out F2 force. So F2 force is F1 multiplied by A2 upon A1. So here A2 is greater than A1. अगर A2 A1 से ज्यादा है तो क्या होगा, F2 will be greater than F1. So by application of a small force you can lift heavier bodies. इसको आप ऊपर उठा सकते हैं, यहाँ पे force multiply हुआ है और the force has been increased due to increase in area. So this is application of Pascal's law. You will find problems on this. Then how we use this law to find out absolute pressure. To find out absolute pressure, now this is the surface of the fluid and this is point 2. It is at a depth of h under. So if you go inside a fluid, the pressure will go on increasing. और यहाँ पे this is open to atmosphere. So let us say here atmospheric pressure is PA. We'll see what is atmospheric pressure. So now atmosphere is applying a pressure at this point. So this pressure should be transmitted throughout the fluid according to Pascal's law. Then we know the pressure difference between these 2 points. So here pressure is rho GH plus the pressure at this point is PA. So here this atmospheric pressure is transmitted as well as the pressure due to the weight of this fluid is rho GH. So total pressure at point 2 is PA plus rho GH. This is the absolute pressure at point 2. So this is absolute pressure. Absolute pressure minus atmospheric pressure is gauge pressure. So this is absolute pressure. The absolute. And or we can call it as absolute pressure, P absolute. So P absolute minus P atmospheric is gauge pressure. Gauge pressure. So gauge pressure means the amount of pressure which is above atmospheric. That means suppose here atmospheric pressure is PA, then at this point the pressure is more by rho GH than the atmosphere. So that is gauge pressure. Gauge pressure is nothing but absolute pressure minus atmospheric pressure is gauge pressure. So here if you see, this is absolute pressure and this is gauge pressure. This total PA plus rho GH is absolute pressure and rho GH is gauge pressure. So now what is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is measured in atmospheres. So what is atmospheric pressure? It is measured. You have conversion factors. तो अभी atmospheric pressure क्या है? Suppose this is Earth's surface and you have Earth's atmosphere till some 200 kilometer. Earth's atmosphere extend up to 200 kilometers. So if you consider area here and a small column, around this vertical direction, so atmospheric air is contained in this column. And if you consider this unit area, then the weight of this fluid column, weight of the atmospheric air column applied on this unit area, that is force acting per unit area, is atmospheric pressure. So actually the density of air will go on changing, the density of air will go on decreasing as you move above the Earth's surface. So variation, there is a variation, but variation can be neglected because density of air is very, very small. So that is nothing but the long column of air which is applying a force per unit area is the atmospheric pressure. So this atmospheric pressure is measured by barometer. So you have Torricelli's barometer. Barometer is designed. If you take a U-tube, this is a U-tube, or simply it is a tube, and you have mercury inside this tube, Hg, and we have mercury in another container. So here इसमें जो है mercury, it is fully filled in this tube. Okay. Now if you take this tube, इस ट्यूब को लेंगे और यहाँ पे बंद करेंगे, बंद करके इसमें इन्वर्ट कर देंगे. So if you invert this tube, in this container. So what will happen? Close with the thumb so that no air will enter, and just invert this tube inside this container. So here the mercury level will come down, and here you will have complete vacuum. यहाँ पे वैक्यूम होगा और मर्क्यूरी लेवल एक हाइट तक नीचे आएगा. तो ये फ्री सरफेस से कुछ हाइट है इसका h. तो फ्री सरफेस से हाइट h है. तो इसका मतलब अभी एक्चुअली हमने पहले जो देखा है यहाँ पे, the pressure difference between any two points in the fluid will depend only on height. So suppose if I consider fluid in this container और ये point 1 है, ये point 2 है. यहाँ पे अगर प्रेशर P1 है तो यहाँ पे भी प्रेशर P1 ही होगा. यहाँ पे P1, यहाँ पे P1, because they are at same level. इनका जो लेवल है वो सेम है. अगर हम यहां पे लेंगे तो यहां पे अगर प्रेशर P2 है तो यहां पे भी P2 होगा, यहां पे भी P2, यहां पे भी P2. एट ए गिवन लेवल इन ए सेम टाइप ऑफ फ्लूइड, ये जरूरी है, फ्लूइड सेम होना चाहिए. इन ए गिवन लेवल द प्रेशर विल बी सेम. प्रेशर विल डिपेंड, द डिफरेंस इन प्रेशर विल डिपेंड ओनली ऑन द हाइट ऑफ द हाइट इन द फ्लूइड सरफेस. तो यहाँ पे प्रेशर P1 है, यहाँ पे प्रेशर P2 है, और इस लेवल पे कहीं पे भी आप लेंगे तो प्रेशर P2 ही होगा. अगर ये लेवल लिया, सपोज यहाँ पे प्रेशर P है, तो यहाँ पे अगर P तो यहाँ पे भी P, यहाँ पे भी P, यहाँ पे भी P, यहाँ पे भी P. ये इसलिए कि इनका जो लेवल है वो सेम है. दे आर एट सेम लेवल, सो प्रेशर शुड बी सेम. बट इफ यू कंसीडर 1 and 2, देयर इज ए प्रेशर डिफरेंस, बिकॉज इसमें हाइट डिफरेंस है. यहाँ पे और यहाँ पे, इन दोनों पॉइंट्स के बीच में लेंगे तो यहाँ पे भी एक प्रेशर डिफरेंस होगा, बट एट सेम लेवल प्रेशर रिमेन्स सेम. तो यहाँ अगर देखेंगे ये एक पॉइंट है, सो दिस इज पॉइंट 1, और यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट 2 है. तो पॉइंट 1 और पॉइंट 2, यहाँ पे मर्क्यूरी है, यहाँ पे भी मर्क्यूरी है. सो फ्लूइड इज सेम, वी हैव सेम टाइप ऑफ फ्लूइड, एंड द लेवल ऑफ पॉइंट 1 एंड लेवल ऑफ पॉइंट 2 इज सेम. So here we have atmospheric pressure. Atmosphere is applying the pressure here, and here there is vacuum. यहाँ पे vacuum है, कोई एयर नहीं है. इस ट्यूब को हमने इन्वर्ट किया तो ये फ्लूइड नीचे आ गया, इसके अंदर खाली है. So air cannot enter. Okay, so when you are inverted, air cannot enter. So there is no air here. So at this point here pressure is 0. फिर यहाँ पे प्रेशर कौन लगा रहा है? यहाँ पे जो प्रेशर लगा रहा है ये हाइट ऑफ द फ्लूइड कॉलम है, और ये मर्क्यूरी कॉलम यहाँ पे प्रेशर लगा रहा है. तो फिर यहाँ पे प्रेशर कितना होगा? यहाँ पे प्रेशर होगा रो जी एच. रो इज डेंसिटी ऑफ मर्क्यूरी. सो नाउ एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर एट पॉइंट 1 is also equal to pressure at point 2. Pressure at point 1 is applied by atmosphere, and pressure here is applied by the mercury column. So atmospheric pressure should be equal to rho g h. So if you calculate, or you know the value of atmospheric pressure, density of mercury is known. Density of mercury, hydrargyrium, is density of mercury is 13,600 kg per meter cube. Okay, so that is the density of mercury. If you calculate that, you will get H is equal to 76 centimeters. So pressure will measure directly, that is 1 atmospheric pressure. 1 atmospheric pressure is 1.013 10 raised to 5 Pascal. So this is the pressure exerted by atmosphere. तो हम इस प्रेशर को हाइट ऑफ द मर्क्यूरी कॉलम में भी मेजर कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज हाइट, और इन टर्म्स ऑफ हेड, दिस इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज प्रेशर हेड. सो हियर the atmospheric pressure is balanced by 76 centimeter of mercury. Atmospheric pressure is balanced by the weight or the force exerted by 76 centimeter column of mercury. So if height is given, suppose if I say the pressure at a point, so pressure at Amravati is 75 centimeter of Hg. Suppose, just an example. So pressure at this place is 75 centimeters of Hg. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? अगर आपको प्रेशर निकालना है, just you will get an idea from atmosphere to this. But if you want to find out the pressure, simply pressure at this point is rho, density of that material. So density of Hg, rho, g, acceleration due to gravity into h. So h is 75 centimeter. It is 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So you can calculate the pressure at this point. Suppose अगर हम बोलेंगे pressure, blood pressure is 80 mm of Hg or 120 mm of Hg, blood pressure of a person. किसी का ब्लड प्रेशर है 80 mm of Hg. इसका मतलब उस मैनोमीटर में जो वर्किंग फ्लूइड लिया है वो मर्क्यूरी है और उस प्रेशर मेजरमेंट में मर्क्यूरी का कॉलम कितना है 80 mm. तो अभी इस ब्लड का प्रेशर कैसे मेजर करेंगे? सो इस ब्लड का प्रेशर होगा डेंसिटी ऑफ मर्क्यूरी रो Hg, ओके, दैट इज 13,600 kg पर मीटर क्यूब इनटू एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी मल्टीप्लाइड बाय हाइट ऑफ द मर्क्यूरी कॉलम. मर्क्यूरी कॉलम का हाइट कितना है 80 mm. तो इसको मीटर में कन्वर्ट करो. सो 80 into 10 raised to minus 3 meters. So in this way you can find out the pressure at a given point. Then similarly suppose बारोमीटर जो यहाँ पे बनाया है उसमें हमने यूज किया है मर्क्यूरी. So choosing a material for a instrumentation is also important. अगर हम इन प्लेस ऑफ मर्क्यूरी वाटर यूज करते हैं तो वाटर की हाइट उस कॉलम, उस ग्लास ट्यूब में कितनी होगी? सपोज इंस्टेड ऑफ मर्क्यूरी वी आर यूजिंग वाटर एज ए वर्किंग फ्लूइड टू मेजर द एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर. तो एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर मेजर करने के लिए हम वाटर यूज कर रहे हैं. सो वी आर यूजिंग वाटर. सो दिस इज ए कंटेनर जिसमें पानी है और ये ट्यूब है. अभी यहां पे प्रेशर एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर है और इस पॉइंट पे प्रेशर ये वाटर एक्सर्ट कर रहा है. सो देयर इज सम हाइट ऑफ वाटर. तो इस बारोमीटर में इंस्टेड ऑफ मर्क्यूरी हमने वाटर यूज किया है. तो वाटर की हाइट क्या होगी वो निकालना है. तो यहाँ पे वाटर एक्सर्ट कर रहा है प्रेशर, लेकिन वो प्रेशर कितना होना चाहिए? इस पॉइंट के प्रेशर के बराबर होना चाहिए. दिस इज 1, दिस इज 0.2. यहाँ का प्रेशर सेम होना चाहिए बिकॉज दे आर लाइंग ऑन सेम लाइन. सो PA atmospheric pressure should be equal to the pressure exerted by the water column. So H height of water column. So H in meters I am considering. So density of water G into H. So height, we will find out height. We know atmospheric pressure here. So atmospheric pressure is 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 divided by density of water. Density of water we are taking 10 raised to 3, 1000 kg per meter cube. और G जो है वो हम 10 ले लेंगे, 10. So height H is equal to 1.013 10 raised to 5 into 10 raised to minus 4. So H will be equal to 10.13 meter. इस बारोमीटर में हम अगर मर्क्यूरी के बदले वाटर यूज करेंगे तो हाइट ऑफ द वाटर कॉलम विल बी 10 meters, approximately 10 meters. So this barometer will be very large. तो इतना बड़ा बारोमीटर आप कहीं पे लेके नहीं जा सकते, इसलिए हम यहाँ पे वाटर यूज नहीं करते, हम मर्क्यूरी यूज करते, क्यों तो वाटर की डेंसिटी कम है. सो वॉट एवर द हाइट ऑफ कॉलम वी हैव फॉर मर्क्यूरी, so for same water the height of this column will be large, okay, because of less density. So that's why we are using higher density fluid to measure the atmospheric pressure. So what is important here? Pressure in a given fluid depends only on height. So pressure variation depends only on height. So pressure will vary. If you move inside the fluid, pressure will go on increasing. If you move up the fluid, नीचे से आप ऊपर आएंगे फ्लूइड में, तो प्रेशर डिक्रीज होते जाता है. ओके, सो नाउ just go through this, then we'll have next lecture. Again we'll have some more discussion on pressure. Okay.